I write this today because I feel bored. The problem I have is with the to or the ts in my mind. Because my mind stored the opinions of others, or at least my assumptive opinion of theirs, and they are stacked as side thoughts in my mind, and my lucid consciousness bumps up against them over and over to find reference points, and so my perception of reality succumbs. And all these ts can prevent my mind from interfacing with possibilities of reality. It is one of the processes which had caused the fallen mind of humans to collapse. A while back I was daydreaming of something and talking just in my mind, in the daydream scenario, to someone, that is, to them, so we have another two. And suddenly I sensed an invisible angel interrupt, asking me, "Who are you talking to?" So I have been wondering about this for a while. It's best not have so many tos, and if we have, keep them fleeting, so that we don't lose the self-awareness of our I am. And we know the wild horse is free from tos. And so is the king who sits aloof in powerful rest, and so is God, who, incidentally sits. Think about that metaphysical principle or dynamic. God sits. It is not just a position, it is an operating principle, the idea that all is done, and in the is of doneness, all is beneath, so God works from the side of fullness and works backwards, as it were. And the lucid still moment of now, in the peace of all is done, pops us out of time, for lack of language, and we touch the future, and the future of fullness touches our present, and we can access good things. So the king touches the possibilities of the future by his stillness. So the king should not be bored. He forms a kingdom in quiet, and waits. So waiting is less a time thing, it is a touching the fullness of something elsewhere, the future allness, and brings it to manifestation in the present. Now the feeling of seriousness, if we can use this term, of the lucid grasping or focus of life in restful pose, keeps the inner powers of us from dissolving into jelly or impotence into the streets, and then we no longer empower our own path. The king holds reality steady even in playfulness, because kings are happy. The language of Proverbs 5 are interesting in this regard. In the context, or metaphor of sexual impurity, the undisciplined king starts laboring for foreigners, for others, and his powers ruins him, and his powers, even his own sexual energy, make other people wealthy. The fountain spills into the streets, which we take here as the reality matrix or paths of others. So we must keep the lucid awareness in peace of our I am, a self-awareness, and our inner powers. Even the energies of our masculinity or femininity stand as a neighbor to the first, our solid self-awareness without too many tos, empowering it, and build our path and changes reality. Should your springs overflow in the streets, your streams of water in the public squares? Because in the liminal line of the being, or body, is a womb and phallus, a glorious core which I think links to the soul, and so we affect reality. Now if you are in trouble, and don't see yourself yet as a king or a queen, remember the principle of the desolate woman. From Isaiah 54, I think, we find that the children of the desolate, or barren, woman is more than the children of the married woman. So I think this is an ubiquitous, or everywhere, principle, and the desolate woman is just the metaphor. Remember, she is refused in her youth, she is tossed around by the tempest of life. The power of true fertility is evident, but as though on the other side of the coin is the fertility of the desolate woman, who is anyone who is desolate in life. And this births more children, which is to say, produce more things. It is God's doing. So in hope and faith we come to Yahweh. And Isaiah tells us, this person is required to start acting like she is giving birth. So to kickstart this principle we have hope and faith as we focus on the Lord. And it says we must enlarge things, and spare not. Start thinking big. Make big plans. And God will partner with this. Enlarge the tent. Don't think small. The principle of the desolate woman is a powerful idea. Partner with God with this idea in your brain. We make room for God and this principle by keeping the knowledge of it in mind of our brain. God needs the brain space.